And we are live. Gentlemen,
Hello.
happy freaking New Year, huh?
Happy New Year. It's almost halfway through the year now. We're finally doing a new episode.
I was like,
Halfway
what?
through what?
What are you talking
Not
about?
even halfway through the first month. Oh, man. How we doing, guys? It's good to be back, huh?
So good.
It's
So
to be
good.
back. Man, new year, new me, new you, new podcast. New
We're
topics.
changing everything, so we're no longer going to be talking about anything pop culture or
Nothing.
geek, nerd.
We're only going to do throat noises.
It's going to be a finance bro podcast.
But Billy's
Get
gonna
on
do
my level,
his
bro.
his
My
his
finance
voice.
I wake up every day at 3:30 in the morning,
Then I go back to bed till like 9 a.m.
and then I'm grinding. I grind.
I grind in my sleep.
That's one thing. I always felt like that was bad advice. I think this is way off topic. What we want to talk about today, but I feel like the people who do have success, like a lot of them do wake up early. But I feel like if you're a night owl, you could have just as much success.
Yeah.
You're just dedicating. Just find the time that you can dedicate. I never was really a morning person. I can be that guy if I need to be, but like, if you're working hard from 7 p.m. to midnight. What's the difference if you're working hard from 5 a.m. to
Because it's
10 a.m.?
morning.
Market's not open at 7.
What the fuck was that? Shit's falling down, collapsing.
The
Now
table
we're
was
settled
shook by my.
in. Dude, your statement was that Chad. So much Omega Alpha Chad in there. Love it. Gentlemen, did we have a good New Year's? We're rocking and rolling in 2024. It was fun.
It was good.
2023 was a good year. We saw a lot of growth in the channel.
Just kidding. 2023 is great. But
2023 was great. I think it was all overall a positive year for all of us.
Yeah.
I
I think
think.
so.
So 2024, here we are. I love kicking off every year. I love kicking off the year at CES. I've been checking it out. I've been posting about it. You guys haven't said a single thing. I know you guys are hyped about it.
I was watching what you posted in the topics. I thought it was all very interesting, but I thought we don't comment on anything because like that muddies up the topic.
You're right. You're right. You're right. I appreciate you respecting my philosophy.
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing? I just didn't read it.
Kyle just didn't care.
So so CES is obviously like crazy tech. Like that's where you see weird shit. You see a lot of like speculative stuff. Everybody has their own car. It's just kind of really bonkers stuff. But I like watching it every year because it gives. I find it to be a really fun platform to see that quirky stuff that you would never be exposed to.
For our audience, what is CES?
Computer Electronics Show, I believe, is what it stands for, something like that. But
Actually
it's
stands for Clear Expectations, son.
whoa with the sun.
Yeah.
I like it. It's down in Vegas, and it's like it hasn't actually officially started. I think it starts maybe tomorrow or Thursday, and then goes into the weekend or something. I think it's like 4 days. But it's a convention that showcases basically consumer electronics, and you see the biggest players there. You see Nvidia had an announcement. Apple's not there, but they always try to like take up some headline space. Sony was there and they did a whole presentation. I don't know if you guys, I posted about it. We'll talk about it, but they had like a guy driving a car with a PS5 controller. It's very
Sweet.
weird.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Very weird.
But like you see weird prototype car, like it's just like a basically a hodgepodge of all the things.
Looks
that
like it
people-
started today.
Oh, it officially
Yeah.
started today. Okay, cool. But there's still like a lot of the pre-show going on, and I've seen some initial stuff, and some of it I'm like, oh, that's kind of neat. Anything you see at CES is probably minimum 3 years from you actually being able to purchase. But there's a lot of really cool tech that's there, and this year's flavor is a lot of AI stuff. Everything is AI.
Flavor for everything.
Yeah, everything. And then there's also just like a lot of really weird, quirky ones. Like I saw one where this guy invented binoculars that have like this ability, like computer vision inside of it. So if you're looking at the binoculars, it could take pictures and video, which is really, I think, really cool, right? If you're looking at, you can record what you're seeing, and then it syncs with your phone. And then it also has like a computer vision in it, so it can identify what species of bird you're looking at. So if you're really into like birding, if you're like really into birding, you could look at a bird and it can identify up to like 9,000 species of bird.
Wow.
That's pretty cool, right? Like you
Something
can
I will
see it.
never use, but I appreciate that technology.
Absolutely. I know how much like birding is a large hobby. People enjoy that. There was another bird one that I saw. I don't know why I was getting fed all this bird stuff, but there was like a bird feeder, and apparently people love to watch like hummingbirds like eat out of their feeders. So there was feeders that were smart feeders that had cameras, and it was like it worked like a Ring doorbell. If the bird, if it had motion detected, it would start recording, and it would record the bird feeding from your feeder or whatever. So it's kind of like cool. I love that kind of stuff because the person who created it and then the market for that's like very niche but very passionate people about that kind of stuff. So I can get behind that, and I can appreciate
Careful,
it.
if you go down the rabbit hole of birding, you might never return.
You might never return. I think we talked about this in a recent podcast, but you guys ever seen that movie with
Owen Wilson,
Jack
Black, and Steve Martin?
Yes,
Yeah.
those three. Like three amazing actors. I love that
It was
movie.
a good movie.
Yes,
called The
I
Big
love
Year
that.
or
The
something?
Big Year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
I saw it once, but it changed my life.
But let's go. Let's
haven't
get
been the
into
same
some.
since.
Never.
I just made a quick cheat sheet here of stuff that I wanted to talk about that I just pulled out from my list of things that I thought was kind of cool from CES. But wanted to call it Sony's big announcement. They had like a car partnership where you could like play a PS5 in a car or something like that. I'm kind of, what is with everybody trying to like get you to play video games in your car? Like the Tesla has this.
Can't
It's
wait
not a
to
selling
die
feature.
playing Elden Ring in the game and then in real life.
But like the idea is the idea is I don't think it works when you're driving. But like if you're stopped in your car waiting, you could play like Fortnite.
Get a quick game of Fortnite out.
That
at
was the
gas
game they
station.
showcased, Fortnite.
Well, I guess maybe.
What's the point of that?
Maybe
when you're
like,
charging?
Yeah, for cars, electronic cars, it takes a while to charge.
I could
So
see that, I guess.
pop on your game while it's charging, and then
But
You could do, I mean,
Yeah.
what? In a Tesla, it's self-driving?
like you're on a screen in your car, and then you like
in your car.
It's
in
in your
it
fucking
seems-
car.
It just seems so niche to like take up an entire keynote speech to
On
talk
that.
about that.
Obviously,
I'm
from
with
Sony.
you. I don't ever
It was
see
weird.
that being.
I would never play
huge
it, but
thing.
obviously, there's rich people that this is a big commodity. They want.
Imagine sitting at like
the market for this is huge. You don't understand.
Imagine sitting at a gas station, like getting fucking owned in a battle royale, and you're just like raging, screaming at the top of your lungs. Damn it!
You break your window.
Shit. I just it
Would
seems
the
like
passenger be able to do it if it's like it's set up in the back seat?
so the one that they showcased, I didn't see any like rear seat stuff. It was all like your dashboard.
Because I'll tell you what, growing up, we had this little like it was just it played VHS tapes in our car for road trips, and you used to be able to plug in like one of those old timey like arcade game like little micro console, and I used to play the game Mappy. It's an arcade game. I used to play that in the car all the time on road trips, and I got so good at it. Like
That's kind of cool.
yeah. And that, I mean, I'm talking the screen was probably 6 inches by maybe 5 inches. It was tiny, but I do imagine. Now, if I'm on a road trip also, and I guess it's up to the parent to control that, but like obviously you don't want your kid to just be obsessed with the video game on a vacation the whole time. You're like driving through Yosemite and they're not even looking out the window.
Well, I get like playing video games in your car like that, like for a long road trip would be fun, but the flexibility based on what I saw today wasn't there.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah.
Like if there's rear seat screens or whatever, and it's integrated with Sony's technology, and you could just absolutely, that would be cool. But it wasn't that. It was their dash panel. And it's like literally only when you're charging. And I'm like, well, that just seems, I don't know, to have a whole keynote speech around that is just awkward.
I imagine if you're like are in traffic, you're not moving,
Let me pop
whip
on.
up
bust
some
out a game
Elden Ring.
and then instantly get a ticket for distracted
But
driving.
I gotta beat Melania. Hold on, guys. You gotta wait.
Yeah.
But
Can't
officer,
pause it.
This isn't texting.
This is gaming.
Clearly, the law states
I think it actually just is distracted driving.
So there actually is
I'm
In-
focused.
in Nevada. There is actually no law against texting and driving, at least as of like 10 years ago, because I was in court for this. There is no
I
law,
was in court for this. Okay.
no law for texting and driving. There's nothing against that. It's all distracted driving.
Yeah. that's
So
how
the
I
moment you
understand
touch your phone, it's distracted driving. But it's not against the law to text and drive. It's against the law to be distracted while
it.
driving.
Which is like why it's illegal to eat, but they're
Yeah.
it's just subjective.
And the reason is because I got a ticket for texting and driving, which I wasn't doing. I was just singing a song I was like resting on my hand, and I guess it looked like I was on the phone. But I even brought in the like transcripts of like there was no calls made, no text during the time I got my ticket. And they're like, well, can you prove that you weren't touching your phone? And I was like, no. And then they're like, well, the law doesn't state anything against texting and driving. It's about distracted driving. If you were holding your phone, then that's
You're
distracted driving.
distracted.
Oh,
Yeah.
2 hands on the wheel, sir.
This
Yeah.
was over 10 years ago. I was 17 when that happened. So
You were on your phone, just laying on your phone.
I was singing a song and I was driving with one hand and I was resting on my fist like while driving. And then now I swear to God,
It literally looks like you're on the phone.
but I wasn't.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
literally was, and so now I'm so like to this day, the moment I like
Adamant.
rest it, I like put it because I'm like, dude, what if someone thinks
Traumatized.
what if someone thinks I'm on my phone? They made me go to this traffic school where I had to watch people die like for 8 hours in
it's
tragic
comparable.
car
You
accidents.
see what happens when you sing?
It was like, like in Driver's Ed, like the red asphalt video where they talk about drunk driving
God, the
accidents.
classic one.
It was like that, but it was all about texting and driving accidents. And I'm like, and it was like an 8-hour class. It was like all day. It's so ridiculous.
Man.
Anyways, that was a tangent.
There was other technology there, an AI stroller. It would I know when your baby was in the stroller and it would rock. Like if you weren't
Yeah.
moving
Skynet
it
can
would.
steal your baby now.
And then if you were, I don't know what circumstance, I'm not a parent yet. Maybe you can explain this to me, but like if you're holding your baby, but you don't want to use the stroller and you're walking, the stroller will follow you.
But I mean, I guess I can foresee times where, because
Maybe they're fussy and you just want to hold them.
sometimes they just want to be held. Sometimes you got to bond. Sometimes they just don't want to be put down, but you don't want to hold them through, like say you're at a zoo, you don't want to hold them the whole time. And so if the baby is in someone's arms, someone is pushing the stroller no matter what, because you have to bring the stroller. So I actually think that would be super beneficial to not
So-
have to worry about it and it follow you around and then just be there when you need
Exactly.
it.
So that
Yeah.
it's like a follow thing, but it has AI built in. They use that term. It's really just
So
to know
loose.
if there's a
Yeah.
baby in it or not. 'cause
It's
it
not
won't
AI
move.
if it just like understands weight limits and stuff like.
Dude, it's
It's AI.
ridiculous. It's just like it's understanding. Okay.
Machine learning.
This one was a weird one. I'm actually
It's
curious to get
self-learning.
your
It
opinion
can't
on
be
this because you're a
Can't be
big
stopped.
you're a big outside griller guy. You just like cooking too. There was a fully electric grill that apparently gets up to 700 degrees. What are your thoughts?
700 degrees.
It's a fully electric outdoor grill.
It'd
And
be
it's
good
got
for
Wi-Fi.
making pizza as well as smash burgers.
My thing is, I
Things
don't
like
know
that.
how well it's going to retain heat.
Yeah.
Because like that, like for me, like an open flame grill, so I have a Traeger, and if you open up the lid, all the heat gets dumped
Yep.
out, gone, and then it has to rebuild up. On an open flame grill, like you can have that shit going, and then you shut the lid, and it gets right back
Yeah.
up to temp. It is so fast, and I don't know, man.
How well would that actually work?
I feel like you could get a good sear. 700 degrees, I think, is even warmer than like a propane grill can get to. But then at that point, it's like, how much wattage to get to something to 700 degrees? I don't even think like commercial stoves.
You just sell it with a generator. Like,
Dude, you'd have to get like
and then it uses gas
like
for the generator, and then it's no longer electric.
well, that's how they're marketing
being
this. Is
efficient.
it's like it's a green grill. You don't have the emissions from which that is an angle. I'm sure there's a market for that. But like for grilling, I want something that heats up. because I have a Traeger and it's not a grill. It's not a grill. It's like it's something different.
It's a smoker.
It's yeah. There's a smoke setting on it. It's a pellet grill. It's
Yeah.
not a grill.
Pellet stove.
Yeah. And I just don't know how I feel about this. I'm sure there's a market for it, but
I don't know. I've yet to see anything that, for me personally, that just beats a good old fashioned charcoal grill.
yeah.
And it has Wi-Fi.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
it has
has,
Wi-Fi.
yes. So Wi-Fi grills are very popular, and there is like, not for a well, I guess so that you would never have a flare up. I guess there's not an open flame, so it would just
Wi-Fi on a grill. What would I use that for? I can
Temperature.
my
If-
Wi-Fi.
yeah.
I don't have a giant
you
backyard.
know when it's preheated.
You can turn it on from. Just...
You could have it run for 3 hours, whatever, at a set temp,
I mean, that's what wireless thermometers are for. They link to your phone,
and not for $800.
and not for $800.
But now you don't have to buy a wireless thermometer. It's part of the grill.
It's one with you.
I would trust the wireless thermometer on my steaks more than I would the grill itself, unless that technology can really wow me.
Do you have a wireless thermometer?
Yeah.
I just got one for Christmas. I'm excited to use
Yeah,
it.
they're awesome.
I'm sick of tired of like
You can
waking
hook them
up.
up to an app, so you can
Yep.
like it'll tell you exactly. You can just-
Monitor air.
I'm sick and tired of like waking up 3 or 4 times every night every time I do brisket, because it's like, I gotta go outside. And I always seem to do brisket in the middle of freaking winter, so it's like 20 degrees outside. It's ridiculous. This one I want to get into.
eating
This
dinner at 10 o'clock at night.
hey, we've been there.
Brisket's ready.
No, that was just pulled pork. It wasn't even.
It wasn't even brisket.
It wasn't
It was
even
pulled pork.
cool. It was just pulled pork. We gotta let it rest for an hour, boys.
We're like,
Gotta be
okay.
perfect.
And you're like, it's so tender, and I'm like literally withering away.
If you don't get food within 5 minutes of your body
You
telling
know,
you you're hungry,
I find
you
myself
start getting the
starving.
shakes.
I find myself starving a lot at your house. It's usually when I'm doing hard labor too.
And then Billy disappears.
Just disappear. That's it.
Where'd you go?
There we go. Well, we're left doing this bullshit. Oh God, I'm a good friend.
All right, what you got super excited about something
Yes.
before.
Apple's new Vision Pro. Have you guys seen this VR headset that they're coming out with?
Is it AR or VR?
It's like an AR VR. Well, yeah. I think it's both.
It's AI. I knew it.
AI.
Everything's
It's
AI.
it's AR and VR headset, I believe. And it's $3,500.
Sweet.
Okay. So I could buy a car with that.
You can spend more money to get prescription lenses put in, which is actually, I think, a really good move on their part. It's only like an extra $95. But
Oh well, that's not bad.
it's like basically
If you're already paying
Yeah,
$3,500.
$35.
Exactly. So you don't have to, because that's always the crutch with me, like wearing that kind of stuff, like 3D glasses always kind of is like a little bit of an inconvenience. I think that's a good move. The stuff that it isn't officially out yet, and I don't know if anyone's actually had like the ability to get their hands on and like review something. It's all just been promotional material. This looks to be like pretty disruptive.
Yeah. You've been talking about wanting something in that
Yes.
market for a long time.
Are you gonna get the Apple Vision Pro?
No, not for $3,500 and not first generation.
Oh wait,
I mean,
till it goes on
unless
sale for $10.
unless the reviews are insane. This is why I'm even excited about it. I'll tell you this. It's not, I would not use this as a gaming device. I would use this to actually do work.
The metaverse.
The
AI.
AI. All right. Multimodal. I put that in here. Multimodal AI. The promotional material that I've seen on this, and I've seen other people talking about it, it looks, you can transform your work setup with this headset. You can go to like a 3-4 monitor setup, and I guess the eye tracking is really good. Like, I'm really excited to see this product in productivity settings. I think, honestly, I don't know if it's going to just all of a sudden become ubiquitous to like working from home, but I honestly think it's going to, like, it is a massive leap. I'm glad Apple got into the game, honestly, because I think there needs to be some competition, because we're trending this way, and I feel like we haven't really made progress. Like, the Quest, to me, it's not at a point where it's like, I need that. You know, it still seems like
Yeah.
gimmicky. This, I think, is going to make some noise and really kickstart this whole thing. I really do believe that. We'll see. We will see. It looks really clean.
You know, to this day, I
see.
have never done any VR.
You've never even tried it.
Never experienced VR.
Wow.
Never.
So
Except for the old mid 2000s arcade game called Beachhead. And you grabbed it and you pulled it over your
You mean,
head
like at
and
an
you
arcade,
shot
like at
Yeah,
an arcade.
at an arcade.
That shit's not VR.
It was
It's just a big thing of glasses.
it was VR. You literally it was the first. You pulled it down over your head and you just shot things that came at you.
Oh,
It was at the local casino here. There was a little mini arcade there.
I love it.
It was called Beachhead. And I remember when I was a little kid, I thought it was called Bitchhead.
I'm gonna go play some bitch head.
be right back, Mom.
Play some Bitchhead.
But I'm excited to see. I don't want to. I don't really know too much about like the gaming applications of it or like all the full uses. I'm really excited to see some of like my favorite tech YouTubers like really do a deep dive review on this thing. It's very expensive, obviously.
Yeah.
But think about what the cost of having monitors and like that kind of like. Just think of the cost of that.
True. I would say
The equipment.
I'm excited for it to be a thing, but I'm gonna wait until it's been like
Perfected.
and
Absolutely.
the price drops
There's
because
going to be so
like-
many versions of this.
like all the ideas you have, Billy, I bet only a few of them are like fully implemented, you know, but the future.
Well, then there's the whole security thing. Like, how do
Yeah.
I integrate it with my work? Like, is that a security thing?
Yeah.
I don't
So once it gets perfected, then I'm definitely interested. But right now, it's still too new. It's kind of like VR too. Like
Yeah.
VR, it's still.
It's definitely at the enthusiast level,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I even waited. I got a folding phone here, but I waited for
And you broke it.
Gen. Well, just the outside screen. First phone I've ever broken in my life, by the way. Most expensive fucking phone I ever broke.
I mean, the screen.
What?
I mean, you had to have had a broken camera at some point or broken
Never.
case.
I've never broken a phone.
Kyle,
Broken camera? No, nothing.
the doubt.
I don't believe you.
Like you mean like you
Press
dropped it and you
X to
broke the
doubt.
like you dropped it and you broke the camera?
Not just dropped it, just fell apart because it got old. Like,
Oh, I mean, I've had phones deteriorate.
There
and
it
stuff
is.
like that, but
it
not like
all comes
Never had
out.
one
I said.
break.
I broke.
Interesting.
Okay, what are we fucking even talking about?
In the court of law, this would not hold up.
if we, yeah, like I've had computers deteriorate on me because I used them for 15 years.
Yeah, that's you breaking it over the course
Okay.
of 15 years.
He's backpedaling.
That's the stupidest
Can't just
thing.
change your argument. You know?
So then I break everything I use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone is just incrementally.
Why do you think it's called
breaking.
breaking in a shoe?
Why do you think it's called when you're
You guys, this is stupid now.
when your car it breaks down? It's not that it just stops working; it breaks down.
That's just the stupidest thing I've ever
Next
heard in my
time,
life.
think it through before you say something.
Okay, this fucking Chad. All right.
I'm kidding, of course.
Yeah. Angry, horny old man. There was another one that I thought this was super weird. I thought it was super cool and also super weird. It was called the Oro Guardian, and it was basically like a dog companion.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be a companion, obviously, for your dog.
Didn't we talk about this at one point already?
Unless maybe you read it.
I don't know.
I thought we
don't
talked
think
about
we-
this, and then this was a different thing. But remember, it was like the dog. I know we had a conversation about a robot dog at some point.
Oh yeah, where you pet it and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a totally different thing.
I know.
This is like a robot that plays with your dog. And it gives
Oh,
it
never mind
treats, and it has a screen on it that you can do like it'll recognize when your dog is like suffering from separation anxiety, and it'll play like pre-recorded videos of you on there or whatever, or like throw it treats, and it has it'll play fetch with the dog. It'll shoot the ball out and then like it can load it and retrieve it, and Get another dog.
Yeah, that's what I was
I
gonna
don't
say.
know.
Just get another dog if you're afraid of that dog
Yeah.
being lonely.
People love their pets, and maybe this is like a really good thing for people who are gone for like 12 hours a day and your dog does suffer from separation anxiety. I know that there's like I have friends who have this cool thing. I think it's like a something like that.
Furby?
Something. It's
Furbu?
not that.
Furby?
Yeah, something like
They
that.
had
But
that?
it shoots treats out. It'll send you a warning saying, "Hey, your dog's barking or whatever, and like suffering from anxiety." And then you can come on there, talk to your dog. It has a camera on it.
Oh,
and
I had
then
a
you can
coworker that
shoot
had one of these.
It could shoot treats and stuff. But this is like an actual companion, and it's probably $10,000 or whatever, something ridiculous. And it'll never really hit the consumer market. But another one of those quirky things at CES that it's just like, wow, someone's dedicating their life to solving that problem.
I have 3 dogs, and they entertain themselves plenty.
There you go.
They're never stressed.
There was another one. This one's kind of making all the headlines right now. Is the hologram tech. Have you guys seen clips of this at all?
Tupac?
I was just gonna say Tupac hologram.
No. I'm talking
Coachella. They've been doing this for over 10 years.
about- This is like a consumer.
Michael Jackson?
This is like a consumer product. Not I don't know what any consumer that would buy it, but it's like a.
It's a
It
consumer.
almost looks like a door. It's like the size of a door frame, and it's a full body hologram. And this guy was like, the video was staring at him, and I thought he was doing like an interview, and then it moved to the side, and he was actually in the background, like on a camera getting recorded, and he was showing up as a hologram. It looked really real,
Huh.
really real. It was impressive. And then the only thing that kind of broke the immersion was the audio. You could tell it was like he had a shitty mic. It was kind of echoing in the room that he was in.
It's terrible mic quality.
They dedicated all their tech to the hologram.
So we're getting
Could I
closer
get?
to,
Go ahead.
we're getting closer to Mass Effect.
I think these are made up problems that we're trying to solve. Like, people are like, we need to have more human experiences. Like, and now that we're working from home, we need to be able to come together. I don't really see that. Like, I don't go to work and go, man, I really could have done that much better of a job today if I could see your waistline. Like, that's not a.
That'll get you
I
fired.
need to see your calves. Yeah, I guess so. I need to see what shoes you're wearing to really have like a full human experience with you. I feel like, I've started
The
this
fact
job.
I can only see you from the shoulders up really deteriorates my working ability.
So I started this job, and I still have never met a coworker on my team. It's
In
been
real life.
years, in real life, and I feel like I've got great relationships with them. But maybe that's just my Gen Z, late millennial bloodline.
You're like, I would say,
You're a millennial.
you're 100% millennial. You're not
It's-
Gen Z at all.
You guys are Gen Z.
No, Gen
No,
Z
we're
starts in
millennial.
No,
96.
Mid 90s is what it's defined
We proved
as.
this.
We've
proved
already had
to you
this
wrong last
conversation.
time.
Mid 90s.
No.
It doesn't. It's not.
Now that you're
Guys,
about to be proved wrong, now you
just-
start backpedaling.
Yeah.
It's not
Guys,
about.
it's
It
not.
has nothing to do
has
with
nothing to
the
do.
actual year you were born
Oh,
in,
you were just saying that.
because it makes my case the mid 90s. But
All
here's
right.
the thing.
The very first thing that came up, millennials are born between 1981 and 1996. Gen Z is 1997 to 2012.
But okay, that's fine. Listen,
It is fine because we're
here's
right.
We're right. This is how I identify it. Like, it's what.
Oh, okay. This is how I,
Yes,
contrary to everyone in the world,
I have a different opinion.
I
I
understand.
still call myself a late millennial.
Now there's
What are we
another.
talking
There's
about?
a subgenre.
All it is to categorize like a group of experiences. I grew up online.
I don't believe.
I
in
grew up
labels.
in an online world, so I identify much more. Like, we have a game that we played this holiday, and it's called Mind the Gap. It was a fun little board game, and it has generational questions. I went like 20 for 20 on the Gen Z questions, and I got maybe half of the millennial questions. And most of the questions were way before I was ever born.
That's because you're way closer to Gen Z than you are a millennial, but you're still born in the millennial years.
Okay, what I'm saying is why we define those groups is what your mindset, not your mindset, but like what your cultural
I
experience
identify
was.
as a Gen Z.
I identify as a Gen Z.
Identify
I really
as a
do.
boomer.
I know. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying that's.
My experiences as a kid are much more related to Gen Z.
I would
than it
also
was
argue that
millennial.
you got a lot of boomer in you.
100%. Definitely got the old soul in me, for sure. But I know my experience was very much so online as a kid, and that is way more synced with, in my opinion, with Gen Z.
Let's see.
Because like even a lot of the '90s TV shows, like I just didn't watch. I was not. I didn't watch TV as a kid. I played video games. Okay, after that roasting of me and my opinions,
We have a chat
didn't
that
roast
says
your
can't change rules. Yes.
can't change rules. Okay, Daniel, what are you? Boomer? Gen X? Silent Gen? This guy, he's team you guys. We got to have him on the podcast to roast you.
Okay.
Wait,
No,
if
he
he's
joined me. He joined and roast me. I already know it. Accessibility stuff for elders. Oh, so this was some really cool stuff. I saw this like it was like lightweight stuff that you could put around your waistline and it would help you move.
okay,
And
like
you could also crank up the resistance if you wanted to get like a workout. But it looked like
exoskeleton.
yes, but like very cheap. And simple in design.
It's like spandex. That's all it is.
Just really tight. Yeah.
I mean, but that's cool for like like Parkinson's.
Yes. Stroke victims. That's what they were talking about for like the rehabilitation process. It looked simple enough to put on. And it was like it basically strapped around your waist and then like wrapped around each knee, I think. And it was just an assistant. It was just like an aid to help you walk.
Huh.
And I thought that was really,
That was really cool.
yes. I was like, it's not this full like bio suit that's like walking you. It cost $50,000. You know,
Looked like
it
RoboCop.
looked
Iron Man.
it looked like something that maybe was $500 to $1,500 that you could purchase and have success with if you were struggling with something like that. And then the one that I kept seeing everywhere that was dominating all the headlines was this cold snap. It's basically like a Keurig machine, but instead of dispensing coffee, it dispenses ice cream. On demand ice cream, and it's shelved ingredients. Apparently, there's no water line. I don't know if the water is in the can. It came in a can, so I don't know if it's all mixed, and then all it does is cool it, or if like a Keurig, you have to fill it up
So you
with
buy
water.
it just pre-mixed everything. in-
Yes, like literally like the K cups that you would buy. It's like a can, but for ice cream, and then you put it in there. 2 minutes later, you have instantly made ice cream on demand.
That would be
Wow.
a son of a gun to clean.
There's nothing to clean apparently.
That can't be possible.
Apparently,
I guess if it mixes it all within the same can,
it
it
mixes
doesn't go
it in
through
the
anything.
can, and then I think it uses that to dispense it into a bowl. Like the presentation I watched, she said there is no cleaning, whatsoever.
I guess okay. I said that, but then I started thinking, okay, so if it all prepared within the
Yeah.
bowl that you're going to be eating from, and it never like processed through a tube or
And
anything.
who knows? They're probably just like anything else. You probably have to clean it, of course. Like your Keurig, I still have
You got
to
to
clean
descale it.
that out. Yeah. You
The
get the
Keurig
mineral
at
buildup.
the Keurig at my work has been saying time for a
disgusting.
descale for like the last month, and I've been pushing it so hard.
That's where you get the flavor, you know.
Pass.
It's like a cast iron, you know.
When does the
It absorbs the flavors.
when does the event close? I think it's so we said it starts today. I
It's
think it
over on
goes to Friday, right? It's just the late week. But yeah, I've seen some really cool stuff there, man. And I feel like every year it's like I get a little glimpse. Like a couple years ago, everything was folding, right? Folding displays, TVs that kind of
Your phone.
roll out. Yeah.
Folding phone.
And now like 2-3 years later, you can buy it at the consumer level, and that stuff's kind of exciting. Everything I saw this year was display technology. Apparently, last year, 3 chemists won the Nobel Prize for like OLED technology. Basically, I guess one of the difficult things with OLED technology is keeping the liquid inside the OLEDs a certain viscosity, and it doesn't like heat. So you have to dissipate that heat very, very quickly, which is why it's like better product for like TVs because they're always plugged in, so you don't have to like worry about power consumption. You can cool them and stuff like that. But apparently these chemists came up with like a much better way of controlling that and stuff like that. And Samsung is already starting to like implement some of that technology
Sweet.
in their displays, and they require less power, and they are brighter somehow.
Well, I
And it's
mean,
just amazing.
You saw before the stream here, I pulled out my Steam Deck, and that has an OLED screen, and it just looks.
It looks incredible.
Yeah, let's talk
For the
about the Steam
size.
Deck because
Yeah.
this is a Christmas gift. We've been waiting. We knew you had asked for it. I
Santa
wanted one.
delivered.
Santa
bought
didn't.
it.
I was a naughty boy.
Santa bought it.
Santa named Dylan bought it.
Why are you ruining Christmas for me?
No. See, there's multiple Santas, Kyle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's my Santa.
You're Santa.
Yeah.
His name's Dylan too? Weird.
I know it's wild.
Hey Santa, I mean Dylan.
I mean, hey, me, no, but yeah, it's
That would be the stupid. His name is Saint Nick. All right. If anything, it's
All right.
Nick, not Dylan.
Kraus.
It'd be so weird if it was like,
Clow.
hey, I know my common nomenclature is Santa Claus, but you can call me Dylan. Like, what the fuck? As
me
you're sitting
Kyle.
on his lap, like,
You can call me Kyle.
dude, what if Santa was real? And like, as a grown man,
What?
you would like go to the mall.
What if he was real?
If
You know what he does?
and you're just sitting on this guy's lap. He's like, he's like, all right, what you want, big boy?
What you want, baby boy?
That's creepy. I'd be very weirded out by that. But what it is Santa is real, and then when you turn 18, all of your memories of him and all of that change forever. It's like if you have fairy godparents and fairly odd parents. When you turn 18, you have no recollection of the fairy odd parents.
Is that how you forget about him?
I mean,
No,
yeah.
Fairly
I
God.
think in the cartoon, when you turn 18, all memory of ever having a fairy godparent is erased forever, and you have no recollection of that ever happening. And that's how they explain.
The adults.
Yeah.
His teacher, right?
Because there's a whole thing where he had to forget that he had fairy godparents in one of the episodes, and he wished to be 18, and it was a big dramatic thing. Although I haven't, watched that show in at least 20 years, so I might be misremembering some of the.
Anyways, though, Steam Deck.
Anyways, that was very interesting.
Yes.
I was interested.
Thanks.
I didn't know that was the quirk. I thought it was
According to the
you
rules,
had to believe and you had to like need them. I thought that was the whole thing. I thought
No,
it
I
was
think
based
it's
around
age.
him needing him,
yeah.
and then when you didn't need
Remember when he was old?
him. Timmy Turner?
Yeah. Like he traveled through time.
I liked his poor friend Chester McBadbat, and his dad was like a gambling addict, and he lived in a trailer park. Very weird cartoon.
Very. But it was good.
Same people that made
was-
Danny Phantom.
It was Gen Z.
It came out in the Gen Z years,
What do you
post
think?
1997.
What's your thoughts on that, Billy?
See, someone born in 1981 would not have been enjoying
Fairly Odd
Fairly Odd
Parents.
Parents when it came out because they would have already been almost an adult by that time,
Yeah,
or an adult.
I
don't
think
know
Fairly
when-
Odd Parents, and for the most part, like I think SpongeBob is split between the two for sure.
99 is when that came out.
Oh, when it came out,
Came out in 99, so
Oh,
they would
then
have
I'd
already
say that's a Gen Z thing.
they
then.
would have already been 17, 18 when SpongeBob was a thing.
Hmm.
If you're at the very beginning of millennial.
At the ass
So,
end.
Steam Deck.
I'm not
Yes.
even gonna defend it anymore because you both are gonna shit on me.
All right, well, it takes the fun out of it. when you just,
When I just take it, yeah.
Yeah,
sorry.
when you don't fight
sorry,
back.
you feel like a dick. yeah.
now I'm just mean.
Shiny Teeth it's stuck in my head.
I think
Jimmy
that's the
says.
song, intro song, right?
No,
It's-
that's the.
It's Chip Skylark.
You remember the
Yep.
name?
My shiny teeth that sparkle,
Oh,
just like the stars
God.
in space.
yes, I know that song.
I don't know the rest, but
Okay.
Doug Dimmadome.
Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
Dude, you remember a lot about that show.
And then there was also the other song that Chip Skylark sang, the Icky
like
Vicky.
yeah, Icky Vicky.
Icky Vicky. My wife is not a fan of that song.
Uh-oh.
Uh,
Are we ready to talk about the Steam
Oh, I've
Deck?
been ready, baby. Take me away.
Okay.
So
Full
the other
review.
song, I'm just kidding.
The third one, no. Steam Deck. I got the OLED 500 and something gigabyte version. Really cool. I think OLED is definitely the way to go. And I'm gonna just compare it to the Switch because that's like the most comparable item on the market to the Steam Deck. It is so amazing compared to the Switch. The Switch has Nintendo behind it, which obviously is like the main power of like if you want to play Mario,
Yeah.
you got to play on the Switch. But otherwise, Steam Deck, it improves on everything. Like it has ergonomic hand holding bits. You have touchpads that have haptic feedback. You have multiple like triggers. You have triggers for your 2 middle fingers on the back, plus your regular triggers, the L1 and R1, and then like a normal console is like, no, you need to pay extra for that's a pro controller, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steam Deck's like, nah, it's part of it.
No, the amount of the configuration that you can set with how many different input
Yeah.
types there are, it's amazing.
And so like and just how you can play games. I mean, I haven't dove into too much customizing my own like controls because a lot of PC games, they're built for keyboard and mouse. But there's games where you can go through like the Steam store and it'll say this one's optimized for the Steam Deck, and all you do is you press play and it's already set up for your like a controller. You just go at it. Guild Wars, Billy gifted us, me and Kyle, and that one has it's partially optimized, so I have to go in and really see what that is, but just the ability of all the buttons and how you can optimize that to the game, I think that's amazing. And I'm still waiting to get the dock to see how it goes on when I put it on the TV. But as far as the OLED screen, it looks amazing, and it just
It's
feels
incredibly crisp.
it feels nice to look at. Like it feels crisp.
Have you had a chance to dock it yet?
No,
Yeah.
the dock's separate.
Ah,
Yeah, so I need to buy that, but it's not that expensive. It's like $80.
I'm just
Oh, that's
just by
great.
looking at it and like really feeling it in my hands,
Mm-hmm.
it like it makes the Switch by comparison feel so dated.
Well, especially it's like the stick has that stupid stick drift that
And they never addressed it.
they never address it. Even the new Switch, the OLED Switch, still
Really?
has it.
You can, I think in here you can configure your dead zone.
Oh, I'm sure.
like you could set the dead zone so it doesn't even act.
You can do it minimally on the Switch, but you constantly have to like clean your like it's ridiculous that they never really addressed that problem.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of Nintendo has always been like that.
Do you think Switch's primary intention is to be played on as a handheld or docked as a console?
No, it's primarily meant to be
Yeah.
handheld. Yeah.
I never owned one.
They even have the
so-
Switch Lite that has. So that's the worst part about I think it's called the Switch Lite, is they don't have detachable controllers. It's a handheld only,
Oh shit!
and it still has stick drift. But you can't ever fix that because you can't switch out the
controller.
controller because it's a part of the console. And so like it's just I don't know.
Oh my God.
Yeah, is it? They really dropped the ball on that.
You bought the OLED version of the Switch, didn't you?
No, OLED. I've had Switch almost
Since the
since
original.
launch, so it's the OG one.
I had
16,
to.
I think that came out right.
So I got mine at 17.
Yeah, I
That's
had to
so
buy mine like secondhand in the Barnes and Noble parking lot from a guy that was selling.
Trench coat.
Yeah,
He was naked, but you got a Switch.
I got a Switch. So.
Did you get a discount somehow?
Well, no, he actually charged me more.
He doesn't kiss and tell.
He charged you more. He deemed me not worthy.
He's like, he took one look at me and said, "I'm gonna
I'm
charge
gonna
you
pass.
extra $100."
Barnes and Noble, man, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
That's where all the deals go down. the
The
Barnes and
true
Noble.
safe parking
Where it's
lot.
happening, man. I would say I only held it for a few minutes, but it feels like the build quality is really solid. I was impressed with how light it was. It was very light. Didn't feel like you would get. It felt like it was the hand position was wider than I was expecting, but it was not in a negative sense. It felt very comfortable, and I felt like I can get into like a very comfortable gaming position and really leverage it. I'll be curious to see how do you plan on using it with a dock? Like, are you going to Bluetooth a controller to it and then you can sit on the couch, or do you see docking it at your computer desk and then using the mouse and keyboard?
Well, I'll dock it to my TV and then sitting on like my gaming chair, because I sit the way I game is a computer chair, and then I'm in front of a TV. I don't know. That's just how I've always done it.
And so you'll use.
So I'll use it on the TV and I'll use a controller. I'll probably.
Can you use like a PS5 controller or?
I'm 90% sure you can.
How
I don't
does
know if
that
it
work?
has to be plugged in at all times, which I'm fine with. I don't
might
mind,
have to
then
be
it
plugged in
wouldn't-
at all
that
times.
makes sense.
Yeah.
but I don't mind sitting. I sit that close anyways, so it's
Right.
fine being plugged in. So that's what I plan to do once I get the dock. Is
They also
just to
make really
do it
long
like that.
USB-C cables now.
Yeah,
Like you can get like a 15-foot USB-C cable for like
Pennies.
$15 at
It's
the most.
so cheap.
Like,
Yeah, you get like 4 packs. So,
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I like that. I'll be curious to see what it looks like when it scales up to a higher resolution.
yeah.
Obviously, when it's docked, it can run at a higher power because it's not worried about saving battery life. So it probably can crank up. And with all the AI like upscaling stuff that exists today, oh man, you probably are going to have like a very reasonable experience for such
It's
a
probably.
small
I
device.
imagine it's gonna be like Switch, like comparable to what the Switch does when you dock it.
Yeah. Just goes from what 720 to 1080.
Yeah.
Which at a certain distance is totally fine.
Yeah.
I don't know, like
We could finally play Baldur's Gate together.
We could.
Could 3-man party.
Oh shit.
I have Daniel in the chat that wants to join us for that if we ever do that, but
Should
he's
do it.
on console.
Gayla says that's why my eyesight is bad, is because I sit close to TV. Whereas I have a different theory.
That
You
sounds
would've-
like such an old adage. I really
My
do.
theory
I've
is-
heard that my whole life.
I sat close to the
I
TV
think it's true.
because my
Really?
eyes were
I
bad.
do.
Listen to this. Look, I sat close to TV because my eyes were bad.
Man,
I
don't
couldn't
know.
see.
Mm.
Why else would I want to sit close to TV?
I can speak with firsthand experience of someone that had 20/20 vision and can feel it slowly changing.
It's called
And,
getting old.
and I know, but it's like it's one of the worst feelings ever. That and I was gonna say losing my hair, but I don't want to be insensitive to.
Now everybody look at his hair.
22 years old, baby. That's how long I made it.
You handled it much better than I would.
Yeah, go from full head to nothing.
I think that part of the reason is because from the age of like 16 to like, I don't know, early 20s, I did all my gaming on a monitor and I was probably 15 inches from it at the most. And I think that maybe I'm just getting old, but I feel like that contributed to it.
So why wouldn't your eyesight be bad already?
What do you mean?
Like,
There's no way you're playing more video games now than you did when you were younger.
yeah, why would mine be bad?
Yeah.
Because you sat really close. when
You
were young.
didn't?
Why
I never did until because well, for one, growing up, I was only allowed to play 30 minutes of gaming a day. That was it. And then for two, I never sat close to anything up until, when I was like 15 or whatever. And that's when I really started gaming.
They
I
had
sat
the
up
biggest
right on
TV that I've ever seen at that time in my life. In
the,
their
which
house.
was just for
It was
context.
enormous.
For context, it was 50 inches.
But tube TV.
Back
50
in the
inches.
back in the day, that was like holy
square.
Yeah.
shit.
It sat on this plastic base that was like this tall. It was a monster.
And it weighed so much.
He hosted the Super Bowls because it was like the biggest
Yeah.
TV for everybody.
All the speakers were
Dude,
built into the tube
I remember
TV.
then the bottom panel started cracking and stuff. That thing
Yeah.
was so heavy, dude.
We still had that when I first got my PlayStation 3. And I remember
where's the
your
cords?
brother and I, we played, it wasn't even HD. And we were playing Modern Warfare 2 probably good 10 hours a day on that TV. And I remember my parents would get so mad because we just hogged the living room all day.
When you turned it on, did it make that like dust crackle sound?
Yeah.
Oh my god, and it would fade in, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I totally forgot that.
And if
that
you
was an
turned off the
experience.
TV, it would do the whole,
Yes.
Yeah.
and it would shrink to the middle.
I remember being a kid and I destroyed one of my TVs because we had these magnetic kit
Oh, yeah.
and it was like this
Oh.
huge horseshoe magnet and I was going around seeing what was back inside, and I put it right on our TV, and the whole thing went. It never turned back on.
Did you admit to it, or did you?
Oh, I was like 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So it's not
My
like they
mom
would have
and-
been like.
My dad was like, no. And that was that. Like, it's not magnetic.
It did something.
Yeah.
They could do it again.
Oh, I was so young. I have no recollection of that, but my dad still tells me
still-
that story. It cost me money, boy.
You still owe him.
God, I remember your dad helped my dad. It took 2 full-grown men to move that TV.
I believe it.
and they struggled. They were like getting it in place. It weighed so much.
It was like the height. It was as tall as like an adult,
Yeah.
because of the base that it stood on. It was. I don't.
And it really was. I swear to God, it was a 50-inch TV. But that was back in the days where like the average I think family TV was like somewhere between like 15 to 24 inches.
Dude, yes.
So like it was like monstrous at the time. Now 50 inches is like on the small side.
I know, isn't that
which
crazy?
is crazy to think about.
Yeah, I have like a 75-inch in my living room, and it doesn't even, nobody even flinches when they see it, you know. And that,
If you
to
would
me,
have
is-
showed somebody that in like between 2000 and 2005, they would have.
their minds would have
Yeah.
blown up.
They're like,
yeah.
you have a home theater.
Oh my!
Is it plasma?
It's insane.
Every time I hear plasma, I think of that. What the hell? The guy from The Office. What the hell's his name?
Dwight?
Scott.
Michael Scott.
Michael Scott.
Oh,
thank
he's
you.
like,
He's like, I got the.
Oh,
new
he's like,
plasma.
look, and it just folds right into the wall.
It's like
Moves like an inch.
I could
in.
stand here for hours.
Oh, it's so funny. I love that scene.
One of
so
my
much.
favorite, like Michael Scott quotes about Jan, was like in the beginning of season 4 when he's like, "There she is. That's why we do it." And then like it zooms over, she just passed out on the bed, and he just stares awkwardly at the camera, and he's like, "She probably won't be awake for a couple hours." But like it's, and then he's like, "So I didn't get the job in corporate, but I got something better, domestic bliss." Jan made me breakfast today. Well, she bought the milk. It's soy. It's so funny. Like
Dude, his
she's
line,
she
like,
so doesn't give a
Yeah.
shit about him at all, and it's
domestic
The-
bliss.
The
so-
house episode where they're over and like he takes them on the tour and he goes in the bedroom and he's like, "This is where I sleep." And he was like, that's funny. He's like, "No, like he sleeps on this little cabinet at the foot of the bed."
they think he's joking, and he's totally being serious.
And then Jan's there and she like tries to justify it. She's like, "Yeah, he's got plenty of room."
Or when
It's like, yeah, if I curl up like this, see, it's pretty comfy.
It's so ridiculous.
And then when he's talking to his new
Yeah.
new girlfriend before they start dating, and she like touches his arm, and he like freaks out. He's like, "Did you see that? Oh wow." He's like, "Well, Jan didn't believe in showing affection." So-
yeah.
Then they have the video camera, and he's like, "Yeah, we've been getting into schoolgirl one," and he like implies that it's him that's wearing the
Oh, yeah, he's
schoolgirl
like-
outfit.
It's like Jan is really into this whole schoolgirl outfit thing for role play, but I
just don't like the
I don't.
outfit.
I just don't like wearing the outfit.
So I don't. I guess going back to the TV discussion, I think. Why is it that being so close to the screen causes the issue? Why is it always a proximity thing?
I don't know if it's.
You think it's just screens in general, or
I
the
think
proximity?
it's light. I mean, think about like your cornea burning off in the morning when you wake up, and obviously that's natural. That happens. But like literally a top layer of your eye will sear off in the morning when you at that first light when you look at it. So I think it's more to do with the. I don't think it's like any other factor. I think it's like light affecting, your eyes. It's like if I were to wear your prescription glasses, it's clearly you're more, you don't see as well as I do.
Yeah.
But if I were to wear your prescription glasses for a certain period of time, my eyes would
adjust.
adapt and adjust to whatever your vision is, and it would make it to where I'd need to wear. So I think it just has to do with like all those factors combined.
I don't think your eyes would do that.
They do.
Not
They go back.
to a prescription, because if so, why not just make me and Billy like give us a certain prescription to where our eyes adjust to be 20/20 normally?
No, they adapt, but they can go back. Like I'm just talking about like after a while they would get used to with glasses on. They actually do get used to the prescription. They could, but eventually, unless you actually have damage or you actually are, then it won't ever go back. But your eyes do adjust to a different prescription.
Yeah, I feel like would you wear glasses or contacts? Like if you had to go that route,
Glasses.
You would go
For
to
sure.
glasses. Huh?
Absolutely not. I can't.
Do
I
the
wouldn't be
eye
able to
stuff.
handle
Freaks me
things.
out, man. I can't even do eye drops.
I see my.
I don't
wife,
know why. It's like I'm like it's not gonna hurt, but my eye, it's like it just doesn't want to even deal with it. It's
I
like,
see my wife putting in her contacts, and it freaks me out. I can't handle it.
and then there's those like people that I haven't changed my contacts like 3 months. I'm fucked.
Or
It's
those
like-
people that are casually like, "Oh, my contacts slip behind my
Yeah,
eye."
Yeah,
What the?
Like that.
My body absorbed the
terrible.
contact.
it's part of me. I have 20/20 vision.
So the Steam Deck is seemingly a fun product. I can't wait to see you try more.
Yeah, can't wait to try out more stuff, see and fully kind of test it. Because I mean, I booted up Elden Ring with you guys, and that's the
It was a bad experience on
hardest
your
game
PC. Yeah.
I've had like that
You know
I've
what's-
tried on the Steam Deck.
You know what's wild? I just looked up. Will sitting close to a monitor actually affect your eyesight? And they said there are studies to prove that not only sitting close to your monitor, sitting close to a TV, but also reading your book too close.
What has to do with like cross eyes?
So it must have to do with just being close to anything in general.
Huh.
Gato says your glasses give you 20/20. I think they can even give you like 20/10 too, or 10/20. What is it? Yeah, 20/10.
Mm-hmm.
I wish you could go superhuman with glasses.
Wouldn't that be cool? You
It
could
just I wish it was like
Called
so
binoculars.
crisp. I switched. I got upgraded to like I don't know, like the last 2 years, my eyes took a dive, and I've stabilized over the last 2 years. But like from 2 years to whatever my last prescription was, it had been some time. It was like way off, and I got the new ones, and my depth perception, and like I felt like I was in a fishbowl for like 2 weeks. And then I finally adjusted, and I'm like, it didn't bother me at all. But
Sure you weren't like on drugs?
I did do some of that biscuit. Better LaCroix biscuit.
Pasteke?
Pasteke.
Watermelon?
Watermelon flavor.
So is that French or
I think it's French.
Can you tell us this now?
Well, LaCroix is French.
LaCroix is
It's
French?
LaCroix.
LaCroix?
LaCroix. It's LaCroix.
Okay. LaCroix. Tortilla chips.
Pasteke. I'm gonna look
It's
that
probably
up.
it probably does mean watermelon.
Pastèque.
But
I mean, it literally says it means watermelon.
I just wish like we could get like little body mods, you know?
What do you think
Hook it
of
up.
the Ray-Ban glasses with the camera and that plays music? Have you seen those?
Oh, because it like it plays music like
It's
by
totally-
vibrating right on your skin, so nobody else can hear it.
No.
Have you seen those headphones that you can like put below your ear?
That
Subdermal?
vibrate your
That
your
just
skull. Yeah.
Yeah, have you seen those?
Yeah.
That's
Whoa.
crazy. There's no perceivable audio, but it just and you put it on there and it's like
sends the
loud.
sensation into your bones, and you can hear it perfectly.
It's like that game that you ever played that game where you like bite that thing with your teeth and you hear music all of a sudden? Have you ever
Not-
seen that? Have you ever
I
tried that?
think-
Not game, but there was this I never had it, but it was advertised like when we were kids. These audio toothbrushes. They're electronic,
I remember that.
and when you wouldn't hear the music, but when you brush your teeth,
So
the
you know when-
vibrations
how
would
long
send
to go.
music into the kit, and you would brush your teeth for as long as the music went.
That's so smart. Why did they
Yeah.
get rid of that?
They might still have it.
Huh.
We're not looking at children's
not- yeah.
advertising, but
Yeah, you're right.
you're like, yes, I am not.
I'm in the clear.
So,
Moving on.
how are we talking? So, pastèque is what we were, or
I said-
pastèque.
Pastèque.
Listen to how it's really pronounced in French. It's French, by the way. It's gonna blow your mind. It'll blow your mind.
Mind blown.
Wow.
Come on.
Wow.
All right, well, I give up. But
Wow, that was low effort.
that's about as
He put in like 4 seconds.
done all I can do.
Hold on.
Oh, I went right when you said hold on.
How hard is it to repeat it?
It's clearly very difficult. All right, here we go. Let's see if this works.
Pistachio.
Pistachio?
Pistache.
Like pistachio. Pistachio.
Pistache.
Why would you name a thing that you sell to American
The
consumers?
French language is crazy. Like, I don't.
Isn't
I would have
English the
such a hard.
most crazy.
Well, the English isn't hard. It's extremely well.
It is hard.
It's let me not
I was
let me not
that
word it
was,
like that.
That's a hot takes. Here we go, folks.
That was a terrible take. But what I mean is, what's hardest about English is our grammar. We have so many stupid grammar rules about everything. Like it's the only language where there's like 5 words can mean 5 different things, but said the exact same way, and just stuff like that. So that's why it's the hardest. They say is the hardest second language to learn if you're not native. Coming from someone that speaks nothing but
I'm
English.
just so grateful that
I'm a terrible person to listen to on this authority, but
so grateful that like you English is like synonymous with like almost everybody speaks English, you know. You can go a lot of places in the world and get by.
English is like
It's-
the universal.
Yeah, thank God. I don't know how that ended up being a thing, but because I took 2 years of Spanish and I needed about 20 years of Spanish to even try to figure it out, to be honest.
I really do wish I was bilingual.
Mm-hmm.
It would be so
would
cool.
open
We
up so
did
many
a whole
doors.
podcast about how like I would love to learn that. But
Yeah.
hey, at the end of the day, when do I use it? When I go talk to Spanish to my wife who doesn't speak Spanish?
If I knew Spanish, it would help my professional life tremendously.
Well, you could talk sexy, you know, to your wife.
I mean, I was thinking about just being able to
You
communicate.
could sing to her in another language. Mi amor. Oh,
You're Italian.
mi corazón. Oh. It's not hard. I think so. Or
Yes.
mi calzone.
That's what I thought you said was
I think
calzone.
corazón is heart.
Victory says all through vibrations amplifying the sound wave.
Wow, that was a really late response.
Was that to the toothbrush?
Yeah. She must be watching. It must be delayed.
I have no comment on that.
It's moved on.
We've moved on.
Yeah.
But that is really cool, like, to have that toothbrush. I've seen some crazy stuff. Like, toothbrush technology.
Toothbrush. There's a gap in toothbrush technology.
Oh, I've seen them
Do
like
you use
with
a electric
toothbrush. No.
toothbrush or-
I
do
refuse
recently.
to. Really?
Yeah, my wife gifted us
It-
some for Christmas.
It used to tickle me so much, but then like now I'm used to it
Yeah.
and I love it.
I feel like it works way better than any
Yeah.
handheld toothbrush I've ever used.
See, I'm like super anal. I floss. I have a thing of flosses, like flossers at my desk, and I floss every day and I brush every day. I'm like super anal.
I floss every day, but I use this expanding floss.
What the hell's that?
So it's let me blow your
Do you
mind.
know what that is?
All right.
Are you laughing at me because I don't know what
No,
that is?
just how you said it. What the hell's that?
What the fuck?
Hi guys.
Expanding floss. So it starts off regular size, and as you use it, it expands so that it can grip all the good shit in there. Take it out. It's good stuff.
What? So like your first tooth is not gonna have the.
No, you just move it back and forth a couple times, and as you do that, it puffs up, and then you switch to another part of it when you go to the next tooth.
Oh, so you gotta work 20 different spots on this thing by the time you're done.
Yeah, I mean, as you should. You should never floss.
I have the picks that are just like set, and then I scrape the side.
Yeah, I have nothing against the pick, but I feel like, well, for one, my teeth are really close together, so if I use the pick, it'll rip. I rip through floss a lot because of how tight my teeth are. So I can't use the pick unless I want to do 5 picks.
Have you ever tried a water pick?
No, but I heard that that's fantastic for teeth.
I had a
and gum
water
health.
pick in my shower.
I know you
growing
did.
up. It was so awesome.
I used to
Use
when
it.
I would take a shower in your house growing up. I used to like
Dude, it was
Blast
awesome.
Put it up his ass.
Yeah, you would hook
Yeah.
up to the wall.
I shit all over it too,
Okay, all right.
and then used it
You guys-
directly after me.
You all done in there? All right.
Sweet.
Great flavor.
Oh God.
What a great friend. Like I would ever shower right after you anyway. Ever. In
Like
whatever
water's
setting.
still warm.
As if we've ever been in that
Still
situation.
So
I don't even turn the
waiting
faucet
for
off.
you, like at first you would always. It's my house. I would shower first.
I warmed it up for you.
I left the water running for you. I mean, we hung out a lot, but not that much. What the fuck, Dylan? Shoved it up his ass. It's a water pick.
Yeah, that's how he cleaned his
That
asshole.
would destroy you. That's a lot of power.
Bro, yes. It hooked up to the main water line that was coming out of the shower, and it would literally just like blasting
Kyle had a
water.
dirty asshole.
God damn.
That would actually hurt.
That would, yeah, that
Yes.
would.
'Cause you
that
had to be
would
careful with
Rupture
it, yeah.
some soft inner tissue.
I love that thing, man. It was so awesome.
I will never think about it the same.
I just hope you didn't use it for your asshole, because I
I
was
can
in
promise
there pretty
you, I never use your water pick on my ass.
Thank you, Dylan, for that.
You're welcome.
For those watching at home, thank you for listening.
A sophisticated podcast. We like to think we've enlightened our listeners.
I've been enlightened today. Where can people find us?
They can find us on YouTube,
Oh, but-
Instagram, Spotify.
We gotta change the title.
Oh,
You put
water pick ass.
no, just you said we're gonna talk about Echo. We're not. I mean,
Oh.
I don't, not that I want to, but we should probably think about not putting subjects in our title in the future, so
Just
then we're
'cause we're
not
so
constrained to.
Then, so don't put any potential subject in our title. We're
Look
gonna
at-
have absolute bangers.
Just put hey,
Hi,
hello.
this is fun. Join us,
Please.
please. Send us.
That might actually do just
Well,
fine.
see,
Send
if
us
we
your
just
likes.
talk about it right now, we're going to talk about Marvel's Echo. And
Oh.
that's it. That's
There's
Dude,
not
wait,
enough
do you want-
time. What time? How?
We're over an hour.
We're over an hour.
I
Echo-
have no interest. Like
I know
I
you
watched
don't.
a trailer. I will say this.
You
it
know why?
looks very
Because they're not
grounded.
fighting in space and they're not flying.
hey, they're not kids.
They're not kids. Like I'm not like when I say I'm not interested. That's wrong. I'm not like hyped for this. Like you saw it and you were like, there's Daredevil obviously in it and stuff, and I know you were really excited. I watched it and was like, oh, it looks good. I'm not like
This is the first Marvel project I've been excited for in probably
20 years.
no, but almost. I mean, probably around a year.
more than that, dude. I think.
Well,
for
I
me.
was.
Yeah.
Not that they. I
this
mean,
whole phase. I think.
I was hyped for movies that ended up not performing. You know, but like this is the first time that I'm really excited. For one, I'm glad that
Is Echo out right now?
It's gonna be out soon.
It's out today.
I was gonna
Today?
say I thought it was.
Yeah, today.
So
Man, I gotta watch 5 episodes.
we do have to watch it because here's the thing. They're doing the release that we talked about, and I guarantee you they're going to be watching the numbers on this.
Like they're releasing.
They
multiple
released
episodes.
all 5 episodes.
Oh,
Yes, all 5 are available to stream. That's what at least this ad said.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh God, please, I hope people who are interested in this binge it so that it hits their metrics so that they do this with other shows. 'Cause
It also builds up. So this is a precursor to Daredevil's 18 episode
Born Again.
Born
or-
Again series. TVMA.
wow.
So they're keeping the grittiness of Netflix. I'm really happy that they're not going to be weighed down by the Disney label potentially, but they're really advertising the shit out of the fact that it's TVMA.
Yeah.
They keep bringing it up all the time. There's like blood in the title, and they're like, it's the goriest thing Marvel's ever produced. But
Even Echo, they're like, change your settings to TVMA. I'm like, Jesus.
oh shit, that's part of their advertising campaign. But if it's anything like the Netflix Daredevil series, they need it. Also in Echo, they said there's going to be a 6-minute long one-shot fight scene with Daredevil.
I've seen bits of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was put online.
I'm gonna watch it right now as soon as we're done. No doubt in my mind.
Absolutely spoils it for himself.
I won't have the
No
ability to
God.
restrain myself.
You'll watch it 480p while driving home.
But not he's not distracted. He's focused.
See, so there you go. We talked about
Focus,
Echo.
sure. All right.
Happy?
Yeah.
There we go. It's in the title.
Well, so Jingle Bee said we could change our titles to start of a dad joke.
I kind of like that.
Want to hear a dad joke I just heard today?
Yeah.
A sandwich walks into a bar. The bartender says, "We don't serve food here."
Oh man, that's so good. So we would start it with a sandwich walks into a bar.
That's actually not that bad.
Everybody's clicking on that video. I like it actually.
Yeah.
That one's pretty good. I am not a guy that can just remember jokes off the top.
Yeah. Sadly,
I don't have that gene.
No.
I'm an on the spot kind of guy.
At the end of the day, jokes are like circles. Pointless.
this guy over here.
Ah.
It's because he's a dad.
Call me a bicycle because I'm too tired. I can keep going.
I think we should just let it
I
keep
can
going.
force you to listen to
Tell
these.
them the Italian DJ joke.
Oh, what's an Italian DJ's favorite sauce?
What?
Marinara.
Merit, Nera.
Merit. I like it. It's good.
I hate dad jokes. I don't
So I bought some shoes from a drug dealer. I don't know
I
what
thought
he.
you were gonna tell me about.
I
the
thought
boots.
this was real.
I thought it was the
thought
boots.
it was real.
You
I
can't
bought
just-
the boots. Did you get boots for Christmas?
Can I finish my goddamn jokes?
Oh, this is a joke.
Yes.
I thought he was setting up for a.
We're doing dad jokes.
Yeah, but you love shoes. You're a bit of a diva.
I don't love shoes.
You're a bit of a diva.
I am a diva. So, anyways, I bought some shoes from a drug dealer. I don't know what he laced them with, but I've been tripping all day.
Oh my god, dude. It's
Beautiful.
like on paper, it's like a good joke, you know.
And then your delivery just really.
it's nothing. It's just such a dry joke.
So I had a dream last night that I was drowning in a sea of orange soda. I guess you can call that a fantasy.
How do you like
Remember
sort
these.
all these?
Once something goes in my mind, it never leaves. I can't get rid of it.
Your memory is stellar.
So the water pick.
What's
in
the difference?
Asshole. It's just.
It's there for it's one of him. Well, that one was an experience he had. So, what's the difference between a dirty bus stop and a lobster with breast
Oh
implants?
God, what? So curious. on
One's
this.
real. I don't know.
What?
One's real.
One's real.
Dirty bus stop. One's a crusty bus station,
Oh,
and one's a busty crustacean.
I've heard this one. That was a good one.
That's a classic.
So the other day, I made a belt completely out of wristwatches. I guess you can call that a waste of time.
These are good. You guys are talented. The chat is talented.
I can go so much longer. We got to stop this before.
I think I should put you out of your misery.
Just kill me on stream.
Well, look at there's construction on the freeway. And with that, Dylan, where can people find us?
They can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, any major podcast listening platform under KD Ratio. On YouTube, we stream every Tuesday at 7, where hopefully you're
Pacific.
watching us right now. Yes, Pacific time.
Specifically at Pacific time.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeet.
Specifically specific.
Good
They're
shit.
magically.
Magically delicious.
And magically delicious. Oh my
But yeah,
god.
they,
Listen to the Katie Ratio, all things magically delicious.
let's just steal the Lucky Charms.
We found you at the end of our rainbow.
Well, remember, guys, with a good KD, you get a rainbow.
Bye.
Ruined.